Hello, church. We're looking at Esther's chapters 7 and 8 today. So we have Haman's evil plot kind of getting spelled out earlier, and now we see justice, right? The word of the day. And we're going to see that Haman gets justice. All right, so his plot was to kill all the Jews. Esther makes her plea to the king. The king honors her plea, sees that he got this bad advice from Haman, and executes justice on Haman. Haman ends up being hung from his own gallows, right? So we talk about the ultimate fall of his pride led to his own destruction, and even the destruction of his family. His estate gets given to Esther. Mordecai gets promoted into greater honor amongst the king. And then we're going to see that kind of in chapter 8, verses 15 to the end of the chapter, we're going to read about kind of God's justice and the reward and how God uses all these things once again to his glory. So let's pick up in verse 15 of chapter 8. Then Mordecai went out from the presence of the king in royal robes of blue and white, with a large crown of gold and a garment of fine linen and purple, right? So Mordecai earlier was in sackcloth and ashes, right? He was so disturbed by what Haman was doing that he kind of once again ruined all his good clothes. And here we see once again his reward is kind of the best that the land had to offer. And the city of Susa shouted and rejoiced. For the Jews there was light and gladness and joy and honor. Right before they were filled with fear and dread that they were going to be killed. But God saved them through the actions of Esther and Mordecai. And so now they're rejoicing and praising God for their salvation. In each and every province and in each and every city, wherever the king's commandment and his decree arrived, there was gladness and joy for the Jews, a feast and a holiday. And many among the people of the land became Jews, for the dread of the Jews had fallen on them. Right, so their example, their rejoicing, how they were able to show that God saved them, led others to become Jews as well. Now for us today, as we've been forgiven of our sins as Christians, are we rejoicing? Are we praising God so that others can become Christians, so that others can be forgiven of their sins? Do we have the same joy, the same relief, the same amazing testimony of how God saved us? Not, once again, physically from some imminent death, but saved us from our sins and eternal separation from God, right? Something that should be so much more important, so much more of an example that we should be sharing and rejoicing with others, how they can be forgiven and spend eternity with their God. So let's realize that there is justice, and let's once again use the blessings of God to share it with other people. All right, church, have a great day.